Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everyone? I kind of look like I'm wearing like a generic movie set jogging outfit. I don't know why this happened, but I'm just wearing all gray today. What's up, Hex? Thank you, Art Nerd, for the sub.
New subscriber.
Hey. What's up, Eidolon? Thank you for the sub. You guys know there's no need to do that, but I appreciate it regardless. I present to you the Hype Train. What's up, Gucci Noodles? What's up, Cindy? Do you send nudes to your girlfriend in those gray sweatpants? No, I don't. I need to. I need music to make me cry, and you're the one to do it. Hell yeah, let's go. All right. My doctor said I'm sick, and the only cure is to give Martin money. Nice. That doctor is a paid actor for sure. Help me out like that. Was there, maybe it was like a family member, a distant family member of mine that is trying to help out a fellow vote. What's up, Off Air FLP Rayham? What's going on, Popcorn? Good to see y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. I didn't go live yesterday. I had a short stream on Tuesday, but I think hopefully my wrist is actually feeling quite a lot better today. So I think that I'll be able to keep moving forward with the schedule as planned. Let's take a look here. We have about 10 names ready to go, 9. So yeah, I've been icing the living shit out of my wrist and resting it a lot, and it's pretty nice because like I don't know, so I don't really know human anatomy that well, but like, so if you stretch your fingers out like this, you can see this little divot between these two I don't know if they're like ligaments or I don't, it's not muscle, I think it's a ligament, but anyways, there's like this little divot right there that pops up, and my wrist has just been so like swollen even after the steroid shot that like I haven't really been able to see it, and actually it was getting worse for a little bit, and now it's kind of I can start seeing the divot again, which I feel like to me I don't know if it actually means anything, but it kind of looks like the swelling is decreasing. Anyways, Makuta music. I missed your stream last time, bro. It's cool seeing you stream. Proto started streaming again. We're all back at it. But yeah, if you want to today's Feedback Friday, so !join enters you into a random raffle, and we're gonna start right now. So let's get yes, a tendon. Thank you. Wait, what did I call it? I was calling it a ligament. It's pretty far off, but whatever. All right, let's choose a winner. Wait, Art Nerd, you got something for us? No? It's like the algorithm wanted to. Can I share visual art? Yeah, of course. No, go ahead. We'll start the Feedback Fridays with some visual art. No worries. It's all good. I'm going to take the sweater off real quick because I am super hot. All right. I'm very proud of this one. Let's see what we're working with. What am I looking at? I made some fan art for Party Animals game. I'm not familiar with Party Animals. This is what happens when my friend group Twitch community plays Party Animals together. Absolute chaos. Love it. Sounds like a game I'll have to give a try. I don't think I recognize any of these names. Except for Art Nerd, of course. They're my fan group. Gotcha. All right. Well, appreciate you sharing some glorious art to get things started. And Karg and SD Norris are doing WE move on me. I love it. That's hilarious. All right. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. Thanks for sharing that, Art Nerd. Off air FLP, what's going on? Might thou haveth some music for us? In fact, I think I'm gonna grab some ice right after I finish stream today. That's been actually way more helpful than I thought it would be. I was kind of convinced that icing wasn't really doing anything. But then I started kind of going crazy with it and icing like 10 times a day, and then I started actually seeing a pretty big difference. Cool. So we're going to SoundCloud. Trusty SoundCloud. First track of the day. Let's see what we got. Silhouette by Off Air. I like the atmosphere.
Haywyre.
Sick. Really great tune. Thank you for sharing. Well, it's my first feedback track for the day, and honestly, I'm kind of struggling to have anything to say here. Great sound design. I really like the that downbeat impact because it kind of like really grounds the bass riffs that you're exploring, because it starts with the major third, and then immediately the kind of like unsynced bass riffs start, where it's like stuff like that, which is cool because I just feel like the obviously the drums ground the phrasing a lot too, but like I just like that the downbeat. It's cool. Either way, just in general, great tune. I like the intro atmosphere. There's a lot of fun sound design happening. I feel like maybe there's room for a little bit of an outro. I'm not sure how I feel about it just kind of ending there. What the hell is this sound? But yeah, I can hear that that's the those are the notes that are playing, and that little riff that is popping up around the track here and there. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe a shortened version of the intro just as an outro could be cool, but I don't know. It is obviously a dance floor oriented track, so I feel like the bottom line is kind of like, as long as you have correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't DJ, but I feel like generally with music that's focused on like being DJ friendly, as long as you have basically a drop that people want to play, that's basically the most important thing. And you can basically do whatever you want outside of that. So honestly, in my mind, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even sure if an outro is required. So yeah, I don't think I have any real feedback, that anything helpful to say. Actually, that is one thing that came to my mind briefly, is that one Reese, that's that C sharp Reese, does feel a little bit jarring volume wise. I like the sound, but the difference. I don't know. Take it or leave it. It's just a thought that crossed my mind. And this is me kind of grasping at straws because I don't really have too much to say. But great tune. Thank you so much for sharing off air. Yeah, I think I'll try to get the outro done this weekend. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, man, for sure. I don't really have... I know it wasn't really particularly helpful, but it's still nice to hear what kind of stuff you're working on. So let's roll on to the next person. Hex, what's going on? What you got for us today? What doth thou haveth? Is doth still a word in the dictionary? I'm sure it is. Doth. Archaic third person singular present of two. Huh. All right, let's check this out. I was uploading art when you rolled. Good timing. It was meant to be. Outburst. Sick. Got a nice flow. Cool. Nice. Yeah, I really like what you got going on here. I'm kind of a sucker for kind of like trap like EDM with that kind of a drum flow with just like the hi-hats like, and then just kind of like the free flowing bass variations and stuff. Is really cool. I think that I have some thoughts, but yeah, I think that the whole arrangement for the track works well. Maybe I can kind of like move chronologically. I think that the hard stop there, I don't really mind it because it kind of feels like the outro almost starts here. Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to move chronologically and I went straight to the end. What am I doing? Maybe I can critique in reverse. So the ending, yeah, I don't really mind it kind of stopping here. Reverse chronological order. I think for some reason the builds, I'm thinking about the builds here for a moment. It does feel a little bit underwhelming not to have some kind of kick that's on those quarter notes with the sub and the clap. I feel like something that's a lot less impactful compared to the drop kick would be nice to layer in there. And I don't know. I feel like you can get away with a lot during a build, but the most important thing is how to create, like, what kind of tension are you creating, how are you creating it, and how are you using that to lead into your drop, obviously. And it's not that it doesn't work with just kind of like mainly that sub and the clap for energy, but I just think it'd be more impactful if you had a kick in there. It feels slightly like just a tiny bit underwhelming compared to the amount of energy in the drop. I like the vocals in there too. The rave stabs there are a nice touch too, by the way. Hold on. You know, it'd be nice actually is if they were completely dry. I think that the second that first rave stab hits there, all the other elements should go to zero. Or sorry, just I meant like have zero volume. So actually, now that we're kind of in this first drop area, there's one other thing I want to draw your attention to, because like the flow in the beginning feels great. The sub is matched to the kick rhythm, which I think is a nice choice. But not here. And it's not a huge deal, but the problem is it's obviously kind of like an A/B thing, a little bit like call and response going on, right? But the sub being out of sync with the kick and with that bass sound is a little bit confusing. I think in my mind, when I think about most like heavy EDM, like halftime stuff, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the vast majority of low end kind of follows like a couple of main formulas, and there's not this is just an observation in my mind, and again, this could be wrong, but like I'm thinking like about low end either as like perfectly matched to bass sound design, where the low end is used to kind of like focus the impact on the bass sounds, or it's kind of like in a lot of trap where you have low end that lingers from the hit of the kick drum, a la 808s or variations thereof. And I feel like in my mind, those two kind of work the best. But I'm kind of thinking like you're kind of in that second category initially. For the most part, right? You have this like that thing is kind of like living in its own separate space. It doesn't have low end. The low end is coming from that sub that's hitting with the kick drum, and I feel like that flow works really great. And then here, you have that like kind of squelchy moving bass, but then you also have or what is the rhythm in that low end? Hold on. Boom, 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 and like to have those both things happening at the same time, it's a free world out there. But I'm thinking from a dance floor perspective, it could be helpful to unify those one way or another. Kind of commit to one new riff being introduced at a time instead of two. And also like trying to think of like, the role of the sub that it's playing there. But anyways, let's keep going for a second. I also think that you might be slightly overusing those stabs, the bum, bum, bum. I think you could do just a tiny bit less of those. They're great for kind of gluing some of these things together and kind of letting the listener know it's a bum. Okay, here comes the semitone down. Boom, right? It's like it's kind of guiding the listener to these through these phrases, patterns, and riffs and stuff. But I mean that's kind of all I got, honestly. The rest of it is anyways, that's all I got for you. Tremendously helpful advice. Failing to make my music friendly to the dance floor is one of the things I've been trying to work on. Oh, I mean, dude, this well, I hope I didn't give you the impression that this somehow wouldn't work on the dance floor, because it totally would. I was just trying to think of the style clearly feels like you're trying to optimize kind of energy and dance floor friendliness. So I was trying to kind of nitpick from that perspective. So yeah, those are just some things I would consider. Anyways, cool. Thank you for sharing. Well, let's keep moving on. But yeah, thanks for sharing. It's a really cool idea. All right, what do we got? DJ Duck 007. What the hell is this sound? I want a piano. What am I doing here? I think I was doing some sound design. All right. Just in case, maybe we got some tracks that people submit that I could play a little piano over. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, my wrist is still not 100% normal. I can tell just by doing some of these little reaches on the keyboard. All right, this is You Know I Know, DJ Duck.
Wanna show me how it feels to touch the sky with my 2 feet. Wanna show me how to swim in the deep end of the sea. Are you gonna take me out tonight? Are you gonna take me home? Do you wanna talk about the light that made? You know I know.
Sweet. That's really cool track so far. Looks like it's public though, so maybe this is not a work in progress. Maybe you've already called it quits. But either way, I'll kind of treat it as if you're still taking feedback for it. So I love the vibe. I love the vocal samples, kind of like very I don't know, giving me some R&B vibes. I like the chords. I like the just the general vibe is nice. I think that the first thing that stood out to me was actually more so the transition into where the drums pop in. You could call it the drop if you want. Kind of overkill on the sub. It feels like the mix is suffering a little bit because the sub is like kind of pushing a lot of elements out of the way. But I like the sound selection and the vocal chops too. I like that little synth chop. That's cool. Like here too, it feels like these I a lot of the low end patches are kind of creating the feeling of like a little bit of a lopsided mix. It feels like things are emphasizing these low end sounds a little bit too much. But that's an easy fix though. Very easy fix. I think. Yeah, this is where I started having some question marks pop up, because I noticed like, oh, the chord progression has transitioned from kind of like something more soulful into these kind of like minor house chord stabs. Which is kind of cool. It's an interesting vibe switch. It caught me off guard. But I kind of feel like you need to work on this transition a bit more. It flows so smoothly into this section here that it kind of feels I would want to hear something that's kind of communicating with the listener like, hold up, things are about to switch up here a little bit. It doesn't have to be something super dramatic, but like maybe the flow could be broken up a little bit. Maybe the sub pops out a little bit. You have some kind of I don't know, there's some fills going on, maybe some way to foreshadow. You could use the fill as a way to foreshadow some of these kind of like housey chords. But then I also know past this, there's some like kind of like heavier patches that pop in briefly here too. Where is it? Right there. Which is interesting because it's like, it feels a little out of place compared to the rest of the kind of world you've built here with this song so far. So not a bad thing, but it is kind of unexpected for the listener to be hearing that. So do with that information what you will. I'd say you could totally do a switch up like this. But I feel like you would benefit from having some kind of signal to the listener that like, hey, you know, this isn't just going to be the same kind of like smooth, soulful R&B, UKG kind of vibe. We're going to switch up things a little bit here. And there isn't really a sign of that. But I do like the chords. But anyways, just some food for thought. So I'd pay attention to the mix. I would pay attention to kind of like how you're transitioning into sections that are like pretty different compared to what's happening before in the track. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you, man. It's a cool idea. Appreciate it. All right, what's up, Petrolane? Good to see you here. What do you have for us today? We can also come back to you if you might be the case that you are not here at the moment. Happy Friday. Can't believe it's Friday already. It's crazy. All right, let's see what we got. So this looks like a release track. A little bit sparse, but I like the vibe. Cool. Yeah, I definitely like the vibe. It feels it's got a nice little pocket. I think for my taste, it's a little bit on the sparse side. I wouldn't mind hearing some more elements. Or it could also alternatively be a good instrumental for a singer, a rapper. I could definitely hear either of those on this track, but either way, thanks for sharing, man. I think it's a really cool vibe. Definitely made me want to kind of jam out on it, but yeah, I gotta be careful when I'm follow up. I mean, it's Feedback Fridays. It's not jam session Fridays. I don't want to be just like playing random piano sounds on people's tracks. Here to listen to what you guys are doing first and foremost, but yeah, either way, appreciate it. And let's roll on to the next person. What up, Gucci Noodles? Might have to move on from Gucci. We'll just wait another minute here, see if they come around. What's up, 22? I see you're joining the raffle as well. Any recommendation for keyboards
We gotta do
that are relatively affordable? It's a good question. Thank you for the follow. Ghosted Frequencies and 225 as well. I'll need Prada noodles. Imagine. All right, I'm gonna roll to the next person. But in terms of affordable keyboards, it depends really on a few factors, right? Because you can get a brand new $100, 49 key M Audio keyboard. And they will get the job done. I had one of those for a long time. And that was kind of how I was writing a lot of electronic music, especially when I was in my college dorm and stuff like that. Like, there's no room for anything bigger than that. So I was rocking just like $100 M Audio for a while. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something that has a slightly higher price point than that, I saw Arturia has like a $300 price point, 61 key that could be worth exploring. But yeah, and then obviously as the price point keeps going higher, I would say like my Panorama is kind of a little bit on the higher side. I love it. But yeah, anyways, so I'm Aiko. What's going on? I don't have any demos. My apologies. No worries. Let's check it out. I'll still critique it just because I'm an evil human and I want to berate all the musicians out there, including myself.
Fusion.
All right. I like the intro.
Fusion.
Really cool. Yeah, I like the switch up. It gives me, it kind of gives me, Ghost Voices vibes a little bit. Virtual, Porter Robinson's side project. What is it called again? Virtual Self. That's right. Yeah, it's really cool. I think the only stuff that comes to my mind, hold on. It's cool. It's halftime, but it actually kind of doesn't quite feel like a normal halftime to me. It feels like it's pretty close to 140 there, or or wait, maybe not 140, maybe a bit faster. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty terrible with BPMs, but either way, great tune. I think from a mixing standpoint, there are probably some little tweaks I would have done. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think if I, purchased the song and was like experimenting with the waveform and Ableton a little bit, or with the audio file rather, I could point out maybe a few little frequency ranges that I would have potentially boosted a little bit, or but I'm not really great at calling out frequency ranges super specifically just by listening, although I would like to get better at that. So that being said, I also really like that riff. I think you switch it up. Initially, what is it? think it switches up somewhere halfway through, right? Oh yeah, right here. That's kind of cool to like take that pattern and like I think you just like delayed the MIDI a bit by a little bit. Yeah, it starts in the downbeat instead of having like that pickup note. But either way, it's a really cool tune. Great, kind of like very cohesive vibe, and it keeps your interest going. A lot of great fills and sound design, and yeah, really well done. Thank you so much for a 160. Okay, 20 BPM. I don't know. That's pretty rough. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Let's move on to the next person. Good job with that track, Aiko. What's going on, Axel? How you doing? I'd like to share an older track that I'm currently reworking for sure. Very simple and repetitive, but I feel like there's some potential. Absolutely. Advice on how to improve it. Everything is ready on mind. Yeah, for sure. Let's chat on Discord some more about that after the stream. And for now, let's take a look at, let's see, Power of Fire. Oh, it's triplet. Accidentally paste one of your passwords in the description. So I'm noticing that like I like the vibe overall of the track. Triplet feels cool. I like the little melodic explorations. I like that that bass line that has popped up a couple times now. I just feel like there's a lot of room for experimentation, mix improvements. All right. Where are we going next? I like that melody a lot. Yeah, it's really cool. I like the idea overall. I agree with you. There's potential here. I just think that it feels like you have something that it sounds a little bit like it sounds like a good foundation to build off of. And how you execute what you have so far is really I mean, the world is your oyster in that regard. You know, there's a lot of room to improve upon what you already have here. So I would recommend, trying to create, for example, some bigger contrasting sections. Like you do have some contrast already. For example, that like there are, I think, 3 moments in the song right now where it goes from being like a bit more melodic to that very kind of like monophonic, more aggressive bass sound. And that's great. But I think leaning into that more could be interesting. Maybe the sound design changes even more dramatically. Maybe some of the the drums get a bit more aggressive and punchier versus the other sections that are a bit more melodic. Aren't just some food for thought. But I agree with you. There's definitely some cool stuff going on here, and hopefully you keep working on it. A little empty. Yeah, you could say that. I think that again, it feels like a good foundation, and there's room to add. There's just a lot of room for more ear candy, more things to grab your attention. Maybe a little bit more detailed work on the mix as well. I'll just give you like one minor little random example, but let me find that little bass section. Where is that? Right here, for example, I think that a lot of the sound design feels a little bit bare bones, so kind of like unprocessed, and I think a lot of the joy that comes from the boundaries that producers are pushing these days comes from post-processing. And you can obviously just have literally a sine wave and end up with just like the most insane bass that people will wonder how you made just with post-processing. And I feel like if you just kind of dive a bit deeper into that aspect of like all of these sounds that you already have, and then expand upon just like what you have here, that will definitely already make a difference. But then also, just to nitpick something random here, but like there's like this sub boom that happens at the beginning of this little bass thing here, right? Where is it? Right there. And it kind of, the sub is basically following a different pattern than what the synth bass that we're hearing is. So it's like on an iPhone, for example, you'd probably hear just those notes versus like on a big system, you would hear these big booms and feel them. That are kind of like not matching the notes and the rhythm of that. So in my opinion, just unify them, just make them part of the same sound, make them feel like they're part of the same sound. I don't think there's creatively, unless you prefer it that way, I don't think there's creatively a reason to have the sub be going a different route compared to the sound of the rest of the sound of the bass. But yeah, it could be a thing that's like inside of the patch that you're using. Maybe the sub is programmed like that. So you can just make it sustained and then try to like sculpt the sound a bit more. Like I said, lean more into post-processing and just get more, just have fun with it. Just do some weird, crazy stuff with processing and see what you can come up with. But yeah, thanks for sharing, and let's keep her rolling. And I'll hit you up on Discord today a little bit later. All right, what's going on, Capture Light? What you got for us? You're in ad mode. What does that mean? You guys are all being fed ads right now? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I guess you guys can't hear me if you're being fed ads. Yeah, sorry about that. Isn't it lovely when companies try to squeeze every bit of value out of everyone at any point in time? All right.
Subscribe.
Yo. 22.5. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. You're like, get these ads out of my face. I feel you. I'm sorry. Maybe someday I'll find a better place to stream. Who knows? But for the time being, let's listen to this track by Capture Light. No Witness, version 3. Sounds like some live tracks, pitched, warped guitar. Cool. Yeah, really great idea. I had some thoughts right off the bat. First thing I'll say, I like the arrangement. Intro, drop, that little bridge section, second drop, outro. Everything's sounding good. There isn't anything super out of the mix. Like feels like things are sounding good in that regard. Sound design is cool. Let me actually, the first thing that came to my mind that I would experiment with if I were in your shoes the way that your melody is written, I feel like the general kind of feel that I'm hearing with that writing is actually more halftime than double time. So the first time through, let's go to the drop again for a brief second here. I think so. Disregard what I just said because it's not really that important. Actually, what I'm thinking is the first time I heard this second half of the first drop, I kind of felt like I didn't want to hear the melody as it was played already once before again. Because like if you think about it, at this point you've foreshadowed the melody a bit here, right? And then you have the drop. And then you have the same melody here again. So that's a total of, let's see, like from 13 seconds to 1 minute and 20 or so. So that's like, basically an entire minute of hearing like that one melody, which isn't that big of a deal necessarily. So like one of the reasons that it's not a big deal for the first two iterations is like the first time it's played is with that kind of like guitar-ish sound. It sounds to me like you recorded some guitar and it's being kind of like warped a bit or something. But either way, totally different context. So like we're first hearing the melody here in an intro setting, and then you have this really sick fill, dope drums, like things are sounding. You're hearing the melody in a totally different context, right? Super exciting to hear that. But then to hear the melody a third time feels a little bit, I would say, unnecessary. It doesn't feel like it's actually driving the track forward. So my challenge to you would be, if you're hearing the melody staying there, obviously it's not like some kind of detrimental thing to the track or anything like that. I would just say that it maybe it starts feeling a tiny bit redundant the second time. So maybe my challenge to you would be to like find a way from maybe a sound design standpoint to make it more interesting. My first thought was like the general MIDI could stay the same, but maybe you have an arpeggiator that is moving the octaves around. So maybe you end up with something like, with a synth playing something like this. Something like that would be interesting. But just like, find more ways to explore that motif aside from just literally those exact notes over again. And then you should be golden. Outside of that, I think that there could be some room for little interesting sound design moments for that lead synth actually in the first drop. The first time I heard it, it all works great as is, but like little octave like pitch bends and stuff like that, or there's room for like tiny little flourishes and things that could maybe make it a little more interesting, but nothing crazy, because obviously I can tell at the end of the day that melody is at the forefront of what you're doing. The other thought is that maybe there's room for... Hold on. It's possible to make it a little bit less programmed sounding as well. Right now, to me, in my mind, it feels very much like drawn-in MIDI notes. And it can be nice. That's not inherently some bad thing. It just makes it feel a little bit robotic. So, some pitch bends. So for example, you have the right. Hold on, or does it start on the A sharp? No, there's a little pickup note there, I think. So instead of, for example, drawing in, the A flat going to the B flat, you could have a pitch bend. You could just program that in the two semitone up and then down to match the melody you have here. Maybe some vibrato as well could be interesting. But yeah, just some food for thought. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff happening here. I like the mix. I like the melody. Part of me was curious what this could sound like if you decided to do like a halftime section. Because, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Part of me was interested in what that would sound like. But yeah, really great tune. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I can do with a halftime. It's pretty short at the moment. Yeah, I mean, totally your call. I'm just throwing out ideas, so hopefully some of it is helpful at the end of the day. But yeah, thanks for sharing. Hope to see you around in the future. Let's see. What's up, Knobby Knees? That's an interesting name. Spotify, I guess. Probably okay. Preferably SoundCloud. But is this a release track then, obviously? Wobbly knobby knees disease. All right, let's see what happens. Hopefully this just opens up my Spotify. All right, there we go. Stargaze. Can you guys let me know if you can... it didn't pull up the track for some reason. Man, what is this? How much money is this company worth again? So, Implexive Stargaze. Let's just look it up manually. Implexive Stargaze. There we go. Can you guys let me know if you're hearing this? Okay, great. Thanks.
Late in the night, shining so bright, a radiant glimmering beam in the sky. I'm mesmerized, so hypnotized, frozen in time when I look in your eyes. I don't wanna lose you, but you're already gone. I have to move on, but I know that you're out there, so I stargaze till I catch a glimpse of you among the stars. I just can't move on. You're the one I want, but you're already gone. I close my eyes and imagine the time when you and I flew among stars in the sky.
Yeah, so far so good. I like the artwork.
Turn back the time, you'd still be laying here right by my side. I don't wanna lose you, but you're already gone. I have to move on, but I know that you're out there, so I stargaze till I catch a glimpse of you among the stars. but you're already gone.
Yo, Synthra, thank you for the sub.
Floating away.
I don't think I've heard you submit something before.
I don't wanna lose you, but you're already gone. I have to move on, but I know that you're not.
I think the strongest thing about the track so far,
till I
probably the songwriting.
glimpse of you among the stars. I just can't move on. You're the one I want. You're already gone.
Yeah, man. I can tell you're making these decisions. A lot of the decisions you're making are in service of the song, and I respect that. You know, a lot of the sound choices and such, the writing, the arrangement, the percussion, like you're just trying to service the song as best as you can, and I respect that. It's a hard thing sometimes. I'm guessing that you're doing most of this, if not all of it, yourself. And when you're wearing that many different hats, it can be easy to kind of like, it can be easy to get distracted or miss the mark on what the purpose of a song is. And I feel like you're staying focused on that, which I think is a good thing. In my mind, I have a few thoughts because in terms of feedback, the songwriting is not a place where I would focus. I feel like you have talent there already. I think for me the biggest missing piece is the production, maybe not even value, but not really sure exactly how to phrase it. But I think that people are kind of spoiled when it comes to music in these days. You know, we have access to more music than we could ever listen to in a lifetime, and a lot of it is, done by, well, up until recently, it's been done by all sorts of different people, some of which have been making music their entire life, and now we even have we're even competing with AI models that are obviously trained on those practices and techniques, and so you're competing with a lot of different people, and it's tough because when you're making art, you don't necessarily want to be compared 24/7, and you don't, maybe certain comparisons aren't fair because they're not relevant to what it is that you're doing. And so that's important to keep in mind, right? Because I'm just trying to, I don't know why I'm prefacing my feedback with some of that, but I guess when it comes to the production of your tracks, like what I would think would be really helpful is to maybe reference some songs that are in the electronic music space that you really like. I can tell that, your music, it just from listening to this song alone, it doesn't sound to me like you're leaning super heavy into, let's say, like EDM stuff, but there is some inspiration from it. So, if it's Elenium, if it's like something else that's very vocal forward, I would consider choosing a song just as an exercise. Take a few songs from artists in the electronic music space you like. Elenium was just a random, the first thing that popped into my mind with like super vocal forward, accessible electronic oriented music, and try to recreate it from scratch. And I think, I don't know what DAW you use, but pretty sure Ableton just came out with like stem splitter and stuff like that. I don't really know exactly how it works, but you know, you can use all sorts of tools out there to gain some insights into how different elements of tracks sound. I mean, even without stem splitting, I mean, isolating frequency ranges and just trying to examine the production from certain songs. So, for example, like vocals. Obviously, vocals are a huge part of what you're doing. So I think paying attention to kind of like what the industry standard is, not just in electronic music, but really in general, will help you immensely. I think there's a lot of room for experimentation with your voice. I can see like sound design wise, you're doing a lot of stuff, but there's tons of stuff you can do with your voice, and I'm sure you're already doing some processing as is. So that's more on the processing side. I think on the performance side, I would say you do sound maybe a tiny bit timid.
But you're already gone.
Like from an execution standpoint of your vocals, it sounds good. I just think that maybe you can try to lean into the emotion a bit more. And see if that brings about any new positive results. But yeah, I'm obviously like, I've spent a lot of time listening to kind of like electronic music over the years, and so that's one of the first reference points for me. That's kind of like the lens through which I would probably judge something like this. So hopefully some of that is helpful. I think there's just you have a really great foundation, and I think you just have so much room for, there's so many things to experiment with, so many sound design techniques, so many mixing techniques, and so many things that can be incredibly fun to learn. And once they're in your toolbox, they can just really transform how you think about creating your own stuff. And I can tell, again, this is why I was saying this at the beginning, that like, you know, your toolbox, you're using what you know, I feel like, in service of the song. So like once you know these other things, I really would be curious to see what else you come up with. So yeah, thanks for sharing. First recorded album with vocals, so I'm still very new to singing, for sure. Well, hey man, you're doing great. I really appreciate you sharing your stuff, and keep at it. Cool. Let's do maybe like a couple more. Yeah, of course. Galaxy Tones, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Well, you heard an early version of this. I've improved the mix down, arrangement, and added some melodies that were inspired by you. Oh, thank you. Let's check this out. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy time to be a musician. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I feel like if I was just born 10 years later, I'm not even sure I would have a career. Like, I feel like timing is crazy when you think about it. The things that you have to do to stand out as a musician today, I feel like are very different. Maybe not so different. Anyways, let's check this out. This is Galaxy Tones Advent. Is this providing you still the training you have now? I suppose. I don't know if it's a helpful hypothetical. I love this atmosphere. Ooh, going Fallout territory there for a sec. Got me pondering over here. Cool. Really great tune. Again, ever since my fiance. We got a new follower. Yo, thank you for the follow. There, Bunk. Ever since my fiance heard your music, and I heard her mention that she would use your music in a like massage therapy environment, I can't unhear that. But that being said, I feel like your music would also be really nice to listen to going on a hike or something. Just a very peaceful, outdoorsy, meditative, tranquil energy. This one has like a little bit of that like feeling of wonder and awe in there because of the borrowed major chords. It's really nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have your own. I can always recognize a track of yours now. I feel like everything is so smooth and yeah, it's a very relaxing, obviously peaceful experience to hear your stuff. So appreciate you sharing. I don't really have anything to add. Although the whole like Fallout thing was kind of funny, maybe that's not a reference that makes sense to you in your mind. But that's why I was that's what I was hearing for a sec. Oh wait. Season 2 is coming out next year, right? I'm pretty interested. I did like the first one. I kind of wish it wasn't produced in like a in such a like Netflix-y way. But I did appreciate it a lot, especially after having played Fallout for a long time, which is now unfortunately part of the past because I have a Mac now. So no more Fallout for me. Blackfield by Blackfield. Oh, gotcha. Well, I love the track and thank you for sharing. Well, why don't we listen to one more track here and then I think we'll kind of wrap things up for today. Let's see who we get. Cheerbar, what's going on? Sorry, Yassian. You seemed really genuinely bummed there. All right. Let's see what we got. I'm ready for some house music energy.
Esto es otra liga más. Tú no puedes con esto. Directamente desde Europa. Más Yuma que los Yuma. Bro. Ponle. Como tú me enredas, como tú te pones. En la cama formulamos muchas posiciones. Esto es una vaina loca, timba pa' que suenes. Llegaron los papi, los dueños de las mujeres. Tienes un maletero grande que te cabe todo. es criminal. Modelo natural, una figura very nice. Mátate conto, así que pégate que traje mate. Y en el baño de la disco a ti te gustan los pasajes. Esto es otra liga, man. Tú no puedes con esto. Directamente desde Europa. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Mira que eres loca tú. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Quítate la ropa tú. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Y en la disco todo el mundo que bomba, 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 bomba. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Mira que eres loca.
Can I ask where the vocals are from?
Quítate la ropa tú. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Y en la disco todo el mundo que bomba, 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 bomba. Fácil, todo el mundo, hombres y mujeres. En la discoteca un par de ricos sin censura. En Europa los cubanos más y un marino luz. Estamos activados a voz sin frontera. No tenemos combo pero llena la cartera. Tú no sabes todo lo que tengo ni te lo imaginas. Aquí tú no llegas con tu poco inspira. Esto es otra liga a la que tú no perteneces. Porque tú presumes mucho de lo que careces. Loco, tú careces mucho de lo que presumes. Y en la discoteca más que yo tú no consumes. Ponle, ponle, ponle. Esto es otra liga que ponle, ponle, ponle. Lo que tenés en mí, ponle, ponle, ponle. Y tú no cabes mongo. Ponle, 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 ponle. Mango, fresa, vainilla, chocolate. En la disco todo el mundo dando pa' que mate. Los hombres activados gastando los putos. Y la niña linda moviendo su culo. Mango, fresa, vainilla, chocolate. En la disco todo el mundo dando pa' que mate. Los hombres activados gastando los putos. Y la niña linda moviendo su culo.
Yeah.
Mango, fresa, vainilla, chocolate.
Definitely, I could see Blue Claire being an influence.
Los hombres activados gastando los putos. Y la niña linda moviendo su culo.
Really great idea.
Fresa, mango, fresa, mango, fresa, mango, fresa, mango, 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 mango.
Cheerboard, thank you so much for coming. Hey, what?
Very sick. Yeah, I can, I feel like I'm getting to know all of y'all's styles, all the regulars. I could, one of these days I would love to do a feedback Friday with somehow with my eyes closed. I'll have my fiance sit down with me. She'll pick the songs. And I'll listen to it and just try to give feedback and potentially guess who it is. I feel like I would definitely recognize a Chairboard track at this point. Same with Galaxy Tones and a lot of the other regulars we got, Noxel and such. But anyways, so really great tune. Love the energy. The vocal is obviously a huge part of this track. I think do with this information what you will. I think that hold on, where's that?
Directamente desde Europa. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Mira que eres loca tú. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Quítate la ropa tú. Bomba, bomba, bomba.
Is this where is this vocal from? Literally a Blue Claire sub used here? No way. Esyan called it. Cause to me this feels like the part of the track people will get hooked on. And it feels like you could potentially try to introduce this, rearrange the track in a way that really features or highlights this a bit more. I think it'd be cool to have the bomba kind of pop in at the end. So hold on. Second measure, third measure, right at the end of the fourth measure. think just like finding more ways to reference it. I mean, obviously it's the title of the track too, so like I don't think there's any shame in just trying to like lean into that vocal a little bit more. And I think that it should definitely happen twice. I feel like that section only came about once. Also, I love the percussive elements that are timed with the vocal. I'm hearing like I almost feel like there could be, some kind of drop that I don't know, plays around with that a little bit. You are choosing to highlight a lot of these kind of like ethereal and like synthy cool sound design stuff like that. But I would be curious to hear a drop that kind of like plays around with that motif a bit more or leans into that a tiny bit more. Just out of curiosity. But either way, I love what you did here. It's got a lot of energy. I feel like it's catchy. So I mean, really, it's just that's the only stuff that came to my mind was what I just mentioned. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, of course, no problem at all. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for sharing some tunes today. Man, it is blowing my mind. This is like, obviously a lot of y'all have submitted tracks before. But it's just like, every time there's a Feedback Friday, I feel like it reminds me of just how we're living in like a peak. I just don't think there's ever been a point in history where this many humans have been producing music for one, but then also sharing it with the rest of the world. So it's just kind of wild to think about. But anyways, Feezy, what's up? Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna probably wrap up here. I really appreciate y'all sharing what you guys are working on, and I'll be back on Sunday at 1 p.m. CDT. Gonna try to work on the album. That's gonna be my focus for a hot minute until it gets released. Don't forget the Inside VIP is coming out soon, so that'll be in 14 days. I haven't actually like announced that anywhere technically, but yeah, it's kind of like just a little side project to wrap up the year, little early Christmas gift. And anyways, that's gonna be it for me for today, and hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Peace out, y'all. Take care.